The wind industry is a very young industry, especially the more modern type, when we talk about the wind industry from that perspective. And there hasn't been a lot of new, innovative, game-changing ideas like the self-hoisting and self-erecting crane. Items like this are what E.ON and E.ON Energy Services are looking to acquire, looking to implement, to be innovative, to be cutting edge, to make sure that we are being as efficient and as safe as possible when we're operating our assets or maybe the assets of others.
The product we're working on here is we have purchased a self-hoisting crane, which now will allow us to replace main components, gearboxes, generators and such without the need of support from a conventional crane. So this self-hoisting crane, as we've seen over the last couple of days, we have in a 40-foot container. It's installed itself on a wire system and now installed up in a nacelle to allow us to pull the main components out. The benefits is, first off, the mobilization cost, much less. The equipment needed on site, to put the crane in and install it and complete the work. The carbon footprint is smaller, so there's a big cost savings also in regards to that. We feel it's also much safer. You have the operator and you have the crane within the turbine. You will not have a lot of all this oscillation you've seen with others. There's no movement in the main component when we install them. Due to the crane is right, it's mounted on the nacelle, it sways with the tower. Everything follows each other, so much easier, much quicker and much more consistent.
It does give us an opportunity to bring these devices in areas where maybe a conventional crane would not be the practical choice, or it would not be from a monetary or a cost perspective choice that you would want to make. High winds and weather are going to inhibit you when you have a conventional type crane set up in your ability to be able to perform certain tasks. With the lifting device that we have here, we're able to almost, in some cases, double that wind speed and still be able to perform the work. But as far as the wind and as far as being able to set up, as far as the terrain, this really it changes the game in a lot of those scenarios. At E.ON and E.ON Energy Services, we like to often say we want to perform and we want to have service from the perspective of an owner's eye, because we do own these turbines. We do own the assets that lifting devices like this are going to be working on. We also realize that other owners are involved, such as landowners, and we are guests on this property. So anything that we can do to minimize our footprint, as you've heard earlier, and leave this property as intact as it can be, do as little damage, we feel is not only the right thing to do, it's a responsible thing to do, to be a good steward, to be look at that from another owner's perspective.